Welcome back, guys. Oh, of course, the rain. But it doesn't matter, because I've found what I believe to be a pristine stone circle. You'll remember, this is what we were looking for last episode, at the end of the episode, because we have this scroll of torment. And, doesn't hurt to look at this real quick. Sure, I'll take the single-use Safari Net. We'll give it a try on the Lord of Torment when we summon him. It's not going to work, but we can give it a try. Okay, so if you'll remember, this should summon the Lord of Torment, which is, I think, the hardest boss in Witchery, in the version that I am playing in this pack. So, we're pretty well kitted out. I had hoped to also have a Salamander's Eye ready, but I accidentally sent it back to my base, and I just haven't gone back to get it. I have been searching for a Circle of Stones. Okay, so let's do this, and hopefully I still have enough charge. So if you look on the left, you can see that it is consuming my infusion. Oh, yeah, we're going to be good. And eventually, yeah, it's going to summon... Oh, there he is, Lord of Torment, who we are going to attempt to pwn, using our combination of Thaumcraft and Blood Magic in this alchemically infused wand. Oh, and I think I just hit a lag spike. This is not the time for that. Okay, I want to let him get close enough so that we can actually hit him, but not so close that he starts, you know, hitting me. That is one disadvantage of the wand, is that it does have a limited range, although the limit is still pretty far. But a bow, well, I mean, also has a limited effective range, but can do much, much better if you're good at it. So this is the Lord of Torment. He hasn't really been much of a hassle so far. Aha! But when we get him down to half health, he teleports us here, which is the Torment dimension. This dimension is a maze. You can see there are unbreakable, impenetrable, solid blocks everywhere that is not above this bedrock. So, in order to beat the Lord of Torment, and in fact find our way out of this dimension, we will have to follow this maze into the center. Huh. I must have missed a turn somewhere. We have to follow the maze and get to the Lord of Torment in the center of it. Yeah, and he sits there laughing at us the whole time. Okay. Yep, this is the path that I missed. But we're in a pretty good position. Our armor is way more powerful than Witchery armor. Oh. Okay, this way. So he's the most powerful of the Witchery bosses, I suppose, but he's not really a huge threat to us because our blood magic armor... Okay, here we go. Here's the center of the maze, and when we get there, we'll have to fight him some more. Let's go for it. Yeah, okay. I said he was the hardest of the Witchery bosses, but I would say I had a more difficult time with death. Oh my goodness, he's about to kill me. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Whoa. Did not expect that from him. I think I would have still been fine. I have 40 levels, but, wowee. Okay. There I was, just talking big about how he was no threat at all, and he had us down to a heart or half a heart, I'm not sure which. Okay, so he's no chump. Those orbs do a lot of damage if they hit you. But there we go. Oh, I thought I'd just killed him, and I was mistaken. These invisible walls, though, they make it really tough to line up a shot with a ranged weapon. There we are. Haha. So, from him directly, we got a random enchanted book. We got a demon heart. A miniature yellow heart. I forgot to even try to catch him with the safari net. That's okay, it wouldn't have worked. And we got the soul of a torment demon, which we're going to drink right away. And now, I didn't bring the right book with me, the symbology book. But if we use our mystic branch on an opponent and cast the correct spell, we can banish them to this torment dimension. So that's pretty cool, and they have to find their way through the maze to the exit point there. That chest is very disappointing. But that's okay. Our real reward was that soul of torment. Now, we could work our way through this maze, or we could be clever about this. Yep, as I thought. This Ender IO Staff of Traveling, super broken. I mean, in a fun way. It's, wow, it just goes down and down, doesn't it? That's really cool. This dimension is super neat. But yeah, it allows us to teleport through solid blocks, or past them, really. So we can quite easily get out of this dimension. Still, I think banishing anyone to a dimension, even if it's relatively easy to get out of, that's going to be a pretty potent ability, if we can hit them with the spell. Still, I think that is going to give us a real advantage against G.I. Elijah. Assuming he doesn't, watch this video before we have our duel, and then just make sure he's carrying the Staff of Traveling with him. And let's see where this teleports us out. Oh. Back to our bed. That's lovely, because we were in the middle of nowhere before. So, it's good to be sent immediately right back home. Let's get our Salamander's Eye out of the ME system, because that was sad not to have. Although, admittedly, he didn't really set fire to all that much. And I just want to get my Ender Compendium. There we go. Then we can, bam, unlock new knowledge. Okay, guys, that was fun. Let's see what else we can do. I think there's one more. Oh, of course, we've still got these little demons here. I don't think they're really going to be of much help. But let's collect the ingredients for one more ritual, or at least make sure we have them available. Here we go. Let's grab the Circle Magic book. There's one more thing that I think is going to be super, super useful in our fight. Okay, and that is this, the Curse of Waking Nightmare. So what I want to do is make sure I have all the ingredients for that ready, so that when we do have the fight, the first thing we do is activate that Curse of Waking Nightmare. Okay, so here is the one tag lock I have for G.I. Elijah. And, yeah. This is definitely the most important ingredient in this whole recipe. We'll also need an Exhale of the Horned One and Mellifluous Hunger. Awesome. Exhale of the Horned One. There we go. Mellifluous Hunger. Tormented Twine, Diamond, and a Brew of the Grotesque. Now we do not have Tormented Twine. That will require going back to the dream world, but in a nightmare. So I will show you how to do that with some certainty. And let's see what it takes to get a Brew of the Grotesque. Okay. This doesn't seem like a horrible recipe. We'll need some Mutandis Extremis, Tongue of the Dog, Mandrake Root. Mutandis Extremis, Tongue of the Dog, Mandrake Root, a golden apple, water artichoke globe, and poisonous potato. Golden apple, water artichoke globe, and poisonous potato. Nice. We had all the ingredients ready. Let's switch into our brewing gear. Final ingredient you need for any potion is a bottle. Cool. There we go. Nice. We got twice the amount it said we would get from that recipe because of our hat and robes. Okay. So now we have the Brew of the Grotesque. And there is obviously one more ingredient we need. The Tormented Twine. So, why don't we grab the last Brew of Sleeping I have and some Demon Hearts. Okay, so you'll recall that when I placed this wispy cotton down, it increased the chance that I would have a dream. That's all well and good. But right now, I want to increase the chance I'm going to have a nightmare. And that's done by having Demon Hearts about. beating of a demon heart makes your nightmares much more likely. And so we have a greater than 50% chance this will be a nightmare, which is where I need to be to get the, there we go. Cool. The cotton for our tormented twine. Now this guy here, supposedly, can't knock my armor off because I have this charm in my inventory, so that's a plus. But he does still have that great ability to just mess up my day, because he's difficult to hit. Okay, so what I want to do though is stand over here and grab this cotton whenever it grows. I actually only need 3 pieces, which I have now. And I don't think I need any more flowing spirit, because I think we're basically done with witchery now. So I don't think there's anything more I need to do here in the spirit world, for right now at least. You know, there are a couple more things I could do to make myself extra ready for an assault against me. You know, I could set up a couple of oh gosh, I'm not even remembering what they're called now. Oh, right, fetishes. I could bind some undead, and they could have some effects on anyone who comes into my land that I specify, or even if I just set them to a whitelist and only add myself. So I could do some things. I could disorient him to turn him around. I could outright kill him, which, you know, isn't a horrible idea, but it's kind of like my force field. I could make a second force field that was, heck, even around his base, and would just kill him the moment I turned it on. But that doesn't seem sporting, does it? Not to me, at least. So what I'm thinking, rather than doing that, I'll mess with him slightly less. Anyway, I know that doesn't make me an incredibly magnanimous person, saying that I'm going to mess with him less. I just want to stand a fighting chance. He's got full quantum armor from Greg Tech. Or not from Greg Tech, but it requires a full Greg Tech setup. String and Reek of Misfortune. Cool. Which I have basically opted not to do this playthrough. I decided I did not want to deal with the hassle of Greg Tech. So I don't have quantum armor. I have my blood magic armor, which is nice, but I believe quantum armor goes a step beyond, makes it so you literally take no damage as long as your armor has charge. Now, I suppose this is kind of preventing me from releasing this episode until after I have the fight with him. Or maybe I'll just tell him not to watch the episode, but that's one of the reasons why going into Witchery has been so important for me. Those nightmares, as you might remember, knock off armor. If I give him the Curse of Waking Nightmares, meaning he gets nightmares that come and attack him, they could knock off some of his quantum armor. And if he doesn't have the full set on, he doesn't gain immunity to damage. And then I'll be able to take him out. At range, because that seems wiser than running up to him when a rapier can easily go through my armor. I don't actually know whether a rapier can hurt him. I should probably test that, because if it can't, I should know it. Okay, let's get a Tormented Twine. And there we go. We now have at the ready all the items needed for the ritual. However, there's something else that's going to be important here. This must be performed in a storm. Oh, first of all, I want to make sure that I have my, that's what it's called, a seer stone, also there with it, so I can call my coven to help. Cool. That will make a more powerful ritual, as will my cat familiar. So my curses should be actually very potent, which is pretty cool. But importantly, I'm also going to take back my beating demon hearts. I don't think I need to leave those just out here. Ooh. Did not really intend to take the wall out behind it, but okay. Okay. So, we need a storm. I don't remember what I was saying before. Apologies. But general gist of what we need to do is we need a storm. And for that, I think we're going to rely on what has been a very go-to mod for us this series, and that is blood magic. So, in blood magic, we have seen the use of the blood altar, we've seen armor, we've seen sigils, we've seen full rituals, but there are also what are called imperfect rituals. Imperfect ritual stones are actually quite easy to make and require only a weak blood orb. Now, when you place something on an imperfect ritual stone, it specifies a ritual that can be done with the stone. I'm actually going to make 2 of these because there are 2 useful effects I can get here, depending upon what I put on top of the imperfect ritual stone. So let me show you. Okay. Over here in the Witchery area, sure. Well, let's see, what where is a good place for these? Maybe here in the... well, there's really no room in the blood magic area. Okay, this is silly. Just pick a place and stick with it. I am going to put them under the stairs here. And I will just... bam, bam. Okay, cool. So, we have these imperfect ritual stones. On top of one, I will place a lapis block. And then I will also want a magic crayon, because if I draw here, that will make sure that that air block is not actually air. So if I place the water here, it cannot flow out, because there's a magic crayon block here where it looks like there's air. We can only see it if we put on our magic crayon glasses, which I'm not going to do right now. Okay, so let me show you what these do. It's nighttime right now. The first thing I need to do to make sure that I don't just undo everything I want to do there is no never active on this. That's interesting. Well, I have a solution to that. Okay. I guess only a screwdriver can rotate that. Well, phooey on that. There. Now our rain sensor is disconnected from our export bus. We will no longer turn off storms as soon as they start, which means if I right-click here, a thunderstorm should start. There we go. So now, with a simple right-click, we can start a thunderstorm, which is great, because we can use that for the ritual. The lapis block over the ritual stone is used to make it night. So if it was daytime and I wanted it to suddenly be night, I can simply right-click that and it will become night. I've been using a witchery ritual to do that, but, you know, I've got effectively infinite LP, which is way easier for me to get than taking out and tossing random items onto the ground and using some of the altar power. It's just easier. So a simple right-click, and we get either of those effects. And then if we head back to our bed, a simple right-click turns it back to day. And I'm thinking what we can do is... okay, grab a piece of redstone, grab a lever, and here's how we will get this functioning again. Put some redstone there. Now, if the rain sensor senses anything, it will you know what? I think I can do this in a simpler way. No need for redstone, because if I place this lever here and turn it on, as I thought. That gives a redstone signal to the export bus. So as long as that lever is on, the export bus is getting a signal. Even if this rain sensor outputs a signal, there's no new pulse for the export bus, and I have it set to only export a dissipation charge once per pulse. Cool. So I think we're all set up now. I think that's just about everything I'm going to do to prepare for our fight. I know there's so much more I could do. We could have spent this whole series specifically gearing up to battle against G.I. Elijah and defend ourselves. I think that might be actually a very interesting idea for a series. Yeah. I'll leave it at that. It's something that I've been thinking about for a while. But anyway, for the time being, I think that's the only way I'm going to prepare, and we'll see how the dice fall, cards fall, whatever the saying is. And yeah, I mean, I know there are a million ways I could have made rain. I had that hunter's handgun that could do it. I have probably a bunch of other mods. Oh, right, the Rainmaker, obviously. But I think our solution with the imperfect ritual stones is just about the simplest one for us, and was very easy to implement. Okay, one last thing I just want to show you before I call it quits for this episode. Grab our symbology book, and I just want to show you, let's see if it works on one of these demons. Tormentum. Down, down, left, right, right. Down, down, left, right, right. Tormentum. Oh. Too low on power. Okay, so I'm obviously going to want to infuse myself a little bit, get more of my infusion power. I can do that with some circle magic. Next episode, well, who knows? We'll see what next episode holds. Maybe it'll be our final fight, maybe we'll do a little bit more. I do think that this wraps up everything we're going to do that's explicitly witchery. I think we've done a pretty thorough look at the mod. Some of you may think too thorough. I don't know. I like it. There are a couple more projects that I've wanted to do for a while. I'll see, if we're not going to have our final fight and the nuking of the server. I'll see if there are any that we can accomplish pretty quickly. Maybe something really cool. Hopefully something that'll contribute to our odds of winning against G.I. Elijah. I've really been talking up this fight. I hope it's any good. And I hope we get a time to schedule it. I should get on that. We don't have an explicit time set aside for it yet. Okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have any feedback, let me know. If you have any ideas about which mod pack, which 1.7 mod pack we should play next, let me know. I'm looking at quite a few now, including the Direwolf 20 pack and a couple of others. Flux Galaxy. I've been looking at Dark Trilogy. Oh goodness, I shouldn't have started listing them. I've been looking at 5 or 6 packs to try and figure out which I would like to do next. I definitely want to go to 1.7 and see all the cool new mods and new updates to mods that are in that version. Anyway, so if you have an opinion, if you have a favorite pack that you think would go well for the series, I really like Test Pack Please Ignore. So if you've got one that has a sort of similar flavor where there are lots of different avenues to pursue, there's no set course, yeah, I'd love to hear it. Okay, end rant. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.